Okay.
मैं फोन में खोल लेता हूँ. ठीक है.
ठीक है. Let's wait for people to join.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Nitin, can you share your screen?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
So
So,
right now, I believe we only have 4 people. Should we wait for more, or it's fine?
okay. Let's wait for a while.
Okay. I think we have waited long enough. Let's start.
Yeah.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah. You're visible.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna give some context here. So this is a production, you can call a mini production application where I have created bunch of classes. Like in a real project you would have many more classes here. So yeah, so for the purposes of this demonstration, I have just created one activity, one view model, and there is a view model factory to pass its dependencies to the view model. Okay. So we have analytics service and bunch of dependencies. We have API servers. All are dummy objects. Like there is nothing going on here. Like they just have to figure out the wiring part. So yeah, I mean that is a goal. Like yeah, we could create methods and all that, but that is not. Yeah, that is just understood. Like once you have the instance of something, you can also call its methods, right? So okay, so I in this snippet there is no hilt anywhere, or there is no dagger mentioned anywhere. So let's say I had to configure this, then I would have to do let's say I have to instantiate the view model.
Yeah, Nitin, can you move to a presentation mode from Android? Like font is not visible to us
Okay,
basically. Yeah. From view.
so I guess it is here, right? view mode.
Presentation mode. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah. That
And
would be
how can
fine.
I access classes here, like project files?
Yeah. Just like go up with that. Yeah, this one. Click the green button.
Oh no,
So
what I
you
mean is like I want to see the side files as well.
basically it will not like exit the presentation mode.
Mhm.
Once you click the green button, you can check.
Okay, so I'll just try to see if I can zoom. I'll not enter the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just try to zoom here. This one. Yeah, I guess it is not possible. Anyway, like I'll try to see what can be done from next time. But for now, like whenever I want, I'll just exit the presentation mode. Okay.
Oh, okay, no issue.
Yeah. So it requires repository, right? And it requires analytics service. So this is your view model factory, and I'll just say get, and this is my main view model. Uh, yeah. So I'll just create a repository. Okay. So each of these requires a separate dependency in this case. So this requires API.
Can you like what is the overview? What we are going to do with like just overview of the basically.
I am going to show you how to do the dependency injection, like to instantiate the dependencies, like show how the dependencies work and all that without
Mm-hmm.
Dagger. Say I
No,
had
no,
no
no.
Dagger in the
Like
project.
basically, like what gonna like why you gonna use this analytics service? Like what is this doing repository? Just about that.
Okay, okay. So we have the view model, right? So view model will have all these things. So view model will have your repository. It has to have the repository. There is no point having a view model without repository. Like
Mm-hmm.
it will to make the data to make network calls or database calls or something. We have to go through DB or network, right? And this is a wrapper over that. So this will encapsulate the DB calls or network calls and all that. And the
Okay.
analytics service is just for you're doing some events and all that. So we want to log them.
Okay.
Like for that we'll need analytics service. So we are having some sort of mixed panel on Facebook and all that. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean the use case is pretty basic. Like we have to log events and we have to get data. The getting data is pretty crucial, and analytics is something you go with enough like to make this a little more complicated to bring home the point. But yeah, in the production app, you'll always have analytics class or some sort of analytics in the app. You have to like. I generally prefer it to be there in the view model instance. Okay. Anyway, so I'll just yeah. So this repository will need local DB as well. It will need shared pref, and it will also need analytics service. So anyway, like was it explanation clear? Hello.
Yeah, you audible.
No, no, I'm saying, was it explanation enough, or what, do you require more?
Like understood. But
Okay,
like, we
cool.
just want to know like what this like code base is doing only.
Right, right, right. So yeah, again, like I want, let's say, my only purpose is to get the view models here, right?
Okay.
And these are all I have to pass because the view model requires this, or the whatever view model requires, that requires it. Like in this case, view model only requires a repository, but the
Okay.
repository also requires these things. right? So I have to put it here because I don't have any other choice. For me to instantiate view model, main view model, I have to get all this. Like I have to get the instances of these.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have local DB, let's say. Local DB will need, like if it is a room instance or something, it will need context.
Right.
So in this
Page.
case, I'll just pass application context, right? And I have to remember that I have to pass application context only, uh,
Mhm.
right? And let's say I need shared preference. Same here. So we have to know like who, like let's say tomorrow someone has to create a new activity, like second activity or something, and they want their own repository instance. You would have to remember that I have to pass application context and not the activity context. So I'll come back to this point later on, but just keep this point in mind for now. Okay. So analytics service itself requires a lot of other things. I need mixed panel and Facebook. Okay. So all this I had to do just so that uh, I could get the view model, right? I had to create all these things. So in a real repository, you would have even more objects. Like this won't be sufficient. You would have even more dependency inject. Like you'd have your repository will need much more than this. So yeah, you get the point, right? So we are instantiating so many things in main activity where I could have not known about all this. This can all be avoided. So basically, Dagger gives you the benefit of that. So I'll just come back to this point later on. But for now, I'll just show what our end result should look like. So our end result should look as if we are just having main view model and we are just instantiating or doing something. Right? This is something we want. This is the dependency injection where you don't worry about the intricacies of things like how it is instantiated and what all is needed and what is the life cycle of each of the components and all that. We don't have to think about all that. That is a benefit of having a dependency injection in your app, right? So this is our end state. Okay. So this is very ugly, right? So I have to fix this. How do I do that? So uh, okay. So I'll just go to I'll just go to app. Yeah. So before that, I'll not explain the what dependencies you have to add, but I'll just show you in brief. Like you have to add these two dependencies where you're using Hilt Android Hilt compiler. You have to add Hilt plugin, and in your root build.gradle, you have to add this dependency, this plugin basically. So yeah, these configurations can be found on like I'll attach the link in the description or something, but it is found on the official docs. It is not hard to find. Anyway, moving on. So for Hilt to work, you have to have an application class. Okay, so I'll just call this Hilt Android app, right? And here I'll just mention uh, Android entry point, right? So this is just to say that this is my activity, Oh, sorry, this is my application. This is must to have, and this activity, if I don't mention, uh, only the view, only this activity will not work. Dependency injection for this activity will not work, but for others it will work. So yeah, it depends on whether you want to use DI in this app or not, in this activity or not. Okay, so yeah, so before that, I am using view model, right? So let's instantiate this one by one. So to get the object of the to let's say get repository object, I just have to
Or Renat, can we go to the presentation mode? Like it is not
yes,
visible.
yes, yes. Okay, better.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I have to do this. I have to add constructor. So this is all the configuration I need to make it injectable. So I'll come back to the rest of the configuration later on. But for now, just remember that after all the configuration is done, and let's say I have to add new objects, this is all I have to do to make it injectable, right? Now now this dependency requires like this dependency requires further dependencies. So it requires API service, local DB, shared prefs, analytics service. So I'll just target analytics service. So I'll do the same thing here. I'll do inject constructor, and same with mix panel. I'll do at inject constructor. So this part is taken care of. Now I have to do for these three, right? So I'll just exit for now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can change by view. Nitin, just go to the view. It can be like just go to the view part.
What
View.
view here?
This one. Tools. Appearance. Yeah, appearance. Just enter the presentation mode. I will tell you then next what to do next. Enter the presentation mode. Again, presentation mode. Okay. Then go to view again. View. Uh, tools. Tools window. Just click
Mhm.
on the project. It will like visible to you.
Okay, understood. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. This is
that will
not
be
better.
fine.
Yeah, this is not better. Okay, so I'll just create a separate class for this. So I'll create a package called configuration.di. Okay, in this I'll create one module.
Can you explain like why we need this module, like kind
Yes,
of
yes,
stuff?
I'll come back to it. So
Okay.
so I'm creating this module so that I can define how to instantiate all the dependencies. So in this case, in analytics service, I could just straight away inject this mix panel analytics, but in repository or API service might need extra configuration. For example, like in retrofit service, wherever we have to like instantiate a retrofit service, we have to have the configuration of, let's say, OK HTTP and yeah, things like that you might need, right? You'll also need interceptors and all that. So in this case, the dependency is not very straightforward. So I'll just show you a way where we can do like this. Like this is one of our options. The other way is which I'll come back to later. So for example, in API interface service, like this is just an interface, right? And we'll have to write retrofit dot create somewhere. But this is not eligible for at inject. since this is just an interface and I don't know what to, how to instantiate an interface. Like Dagger doesn't know that. So for that, we'll have to have an app module in this case, right? So I'm just doing that. So I'll just call this a module.
Yeah, let me add one thing more. Like the class, the classes or like any APIs, like so where we not able to get the constructor of that, then we need this module class to instantiate the object.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Because Dagger doesn't know how to instantiate the interfaces class like interface module or
and
whatever,
like
like interface dependencies. So
and other third party classes that we don't own them.
exactly. We can't write at inject there. So that's why we have this app module. So here I'll just mention whatever. Like I want API service, right? So I'll just say get API service, and yeah, API service I'll do dot get instance. Now coming to uh, the local DB part. So local DB requires uh, context in its constructor, right? So we want this to be an application context. So how do I get application context from this app, right? So Hilt has a straightforward implementation here. You can just say add application context, and you can do context, right? And you can just pass this context to the application context, and you have to write provides here to uh, to to let the Dagger know that this is an injectable component and not just any any method. This is a factory method, and similarly here, right? And I also have shared pref. Shared pref also requires the same, like it will require an application context. Okay. So now our repository is injectable, right? So all our intrinsic dependencies are taken care of. Analytics service I've taken care of. Shared pref, local DB, everything I have taken care of. Now I have to inject all this in my view model, right? So view model is slightly different. It is just not a normal injectable class. But yeah, it
Uh,
is.
then one more thing, like why we need this singleton component in that? Like, can you just explain to
Yes,
everyone?
yes, yes. Yeah. So what happens here when you have this singleton component is you're mentioning that on which level you want to instantiate these factory methods. Like so, I'm writing this factory methods at singleton level, singleton component level. I could also have activity component or something, right? So the life of this, whatever I define inside this, that is a scope. Like it will not outlive this. If I write this an activity component or view model, yeah, that's a second. Yeah, so I write this in view model component. It will not outlive a certain view model. Like wherever I want this, it will not outlive that. So that is a that is why we write install in, and we mention the component level. Like all the dependencies instantiated here will not outlive this. That is the reason we do it.
Okay, so like we also need a singleton with that provides method also,
Yes,
or
I'll
not?
come back to that. I'll come
Okay,
back to that. And why we
okay,
have to write it, even after
okay.
mentioning it here, I'll come back to
Ah,
that
yeah.
later.
Okay, got it, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, our view model is will also be injected, but it is not going to be the same as other dependencies because this will be slightly different in the way that it is going to be like it is going to outlive the activity cycle, but we don't want it to the we don't want it on singleton level also. We don't want the view model to survive the uh, activity destroyed as well. Like we don't want it on app level. So yeah, this is somewhere in between. So I'll create the same thing. I'll do the same thing, but I'll mention the scope here, or I'll mention this to be a Hilt view model. So I'm telling the Dagger that this is my view model class. So instantiate it accordingly, right? So in activity, so you can just do 5 view models here, and this will work. Uh, yeah, this will work. So I don't know if you're familiar with this. So this is a fragment KTX extension. So this will just bring you the view model. So earlier, what you had to do was you had to have you had to inject the provider. Yeah, so you had to inject the factory here. Okay, and then you had to also pass it to the view model provider. But now with Dagger-Hilt, you don't have to do this. Like this is directly compatible with it. Like it will fetch all the dependencies and it will give you with even with no constructor args. Like even with the view model with all the dependencies, it will do that for you. Okay. So I guess that's all for the Hilt configuration part for the view model. So I'll just build it. Okay, I'll just build it. See if there is anything wrong. Yeah, so it built. The Dagger took the configuration very well. It didn't have any problems with it. So yeah, so let's say I'll come back to the second. I'll come back to the second point now, like where we have to like let's say we have to inject one more dependency, which is not singleton level here. So let me create a class which is just restricted to um, this view model and this main activity and main view model. So I'll just create a class called main computation class or main mapper. Yeah, main mapper works or something like that, or even computation. will do pretty well. So yeah, this class I don't want to expose it to anyone else.
Yeah, Nina,
So
sorry, like, can you go to again presentation mode?
oh yeah, uh, yeah, I'll just do that. Uh, yeah, command F9. Okay, got it.
It is on tools window, yeah.
Yeah, it is structure, right?
Project. Yeah. Projects.
Okay. Okay, so this will also be my add inject dependency, and it will be constructor. And let's say for this purpose, it will not take anything else. It does not have any other dependencies. So the sole purpose for this is um, to compute something and not give anything in return. Like basically that's it. I'll just so since I don't want this outside the I don't want this to outlive the view model. I'll just add view model scope, right? And I'll add it here. Yeah. I'll build it again. Okay. So we no longer require this. So we'll just delete this. We don't require the view model providers. Going to build it again. Uh, main view model in class. Yeah, give me a second. I'll just clean it and build it. Okay, that worked. So yeah, like whenever you have some issues, it will let you know that in the build, like it will fail the build, and it will give the appropriate message why it failed and all that. So sometimes if you suspect that there is nothing wrong, just cleaning it will work. Okay. Uh, so yeah, there is one more thing. So since I took paint competition and this is view model scope, I'll tell you one more concept here. Like we cannot add a scope which is lesser than view model here. It will simply not take. It will fail the build. So if I just add activity scope here and I try to build this, yeah, so it will fail because our activities, our view model outlives the activity. So if you mention any scope below that, it will not work. But at the same time, if I let's say add application scope or singleton here, it will work for obvious reason that because singleton is above the view model scope. Like singleton will outlive the view model. So it is important to mention the correct scopes and take care of it. And I'll just keep it as view model scope. Build it again. Yeah. Okay, so we have configured the hilt. We have yeah we Most of our configuration is done. So I'll show you now what and how to use some of the scopes and yeah. So what I'll do is yeah, again, by the way, like I forgot to mention that to inject it in an activity, you just have to do late init for and any dependency. So in this case, let's say I want analytics in this, right? This can be any class. It doesn't have to be analytics. It can be anything. So I'll just create two instances, or I'll create three instances. Okay, and I'll print them in the log. So what we want to see is if all of these injections are same or different. Okay, so I'll just run this. Okay, so as you can see, all of them are different instances. So this is not something we want.
Please, can you go to the again the presentation mode?
Is there no way to zoom it? Because I want to show it with the
Okay, but when
yeah. So
you
I'll just zoom it.
you can do by like view. There are lots of options for
Yeah,
locks
yeah. Is
also.
it visible
Lock
now?
it.
Is it
Yeah, it's
visible now?
visible. Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I mean this is yeah. So all of these instances are different instances, right? So we don't want that. We want all analytics service to be a single like single. We want it to be a single service. Like we don't want multiple instances of this. So so I'll just add singleton here. Okay. Um, yeah, even for this, like I'll come back to this later on, but yeah, we can mark it singleton. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. I'm just marking singleton, so I will not go in presentation mode, and I'll run it again. Like see what happens. Okay. So as we can see here, like all of the instances are same in this case. Uh, yeah. So we have uh, achieved the singleton thing. Right? We want only one analytic service. So we did that. So yeah, I mean, same you can do with whatever is here. Like same you have to do. So even here, like we are just leaving it with provides, right? So same problem we'll get if we go back to the activity and add uh, add API service here. Okay, so we have all of them are different instances. So this can be fixed simply via uh, just just annotating it with singleton. So
Then
API service and
like may I know what is the difference between like defining the installing component as singleton and again defining here method as singleton? What are the
yes,
difference
so
between them?
this is a level. So you're not mentioning how many times you want to instantiate it
Okay.
or how many times you want to allow it. So this is a level. Like at this level, this factory method will work. But then inside this level, how like do you want it to be singleton in this level or do you want it to be multiple creation? Like for some reason, like in some cases, you would want all of these to be different. You would want all of these to be different in some cases. But in some cases, you would want it to be a single object. So if you want it to be a single object, you have to annotate it with the proper scope. Or
Okay.
yeah, again, like if you don't want, if you want to instantiate it, if you want to get different instances again and again, you just have to
Okay.
not mark it.
Okay. So basically, like singleton component just define that like like life of the app module
Yes, correct,
only.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm marking all of these as singleton, and I'll run it again. So yeah, we have all three instances. All three instances are same now. So that is the purpose of this. There is also one more thing. There are also few other scopes which I'll tell you about. So okay, I'll just keep it like this, but I'll make it shared pref. Okay. So what I can do with shared pref is that I don't have like I cannot I don't have to instantiate like I don't mind instantiating again and again. You know, so it is a relatively less expensive object to instantiate. Like I can afford to instantiate it again and again. So there is another scope which you can use, which is pretty handy and is my one of my favorites. So it is reusable. So what it will do is it is the same as singleton, like it will not create it again and again, but if singleton, what it will do is it will keep it alive the whole time. Like you don't need that. You don't need every object to be a singleton. So in this case, API service is a hard thing to instantiate. Like it is a very expensive thing to instantiate, and you don't mind keeping it alive throughout the whole app. Similarly with local DB, but this is a comparatively less expensive object. You can create it again and again. So you just annotate it with reusable, and it will work the same as the uh, singleton, but won't have the downsides of singleton. Yeah, same here. Like since it was already created, it is just reusing it the second time and the third time.
Like what is the basic difference between reusable or like singleton?
Yes. So singleton will outlive it. Like let's say I'm using will outlive the like yeah, it will outlive everything. But
Mm-hmm.
reusable, what it will do is if it is not being referenced anywhere, it will
Mm-hmm.
not hold it will not hold uh, cu- the instance of that. Like it will let it
Okay.
garbage collect, and let's say I need it again, it will
Mm-hmm.
create it again. So your memory footprint reduces by a lot.
Okay. Okay. If it is there and it can be reusable.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. Otherwise, it's like it can be garbage collected.
Yes, correct. It will not hold its reference, but singleton it will hold the reference.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So in the DB case, you we want it to hold, like we want it to outlive everything.
So it make our app memory efficient kind of.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just revert this. And yeah, I mean, this will, I think I covered everything I had to cover. Are there any questions? Let me just check. So, can you ask me questions, Nitin? If like the relevant questions or whatever
Yeah, yeah. Like so basically, like
from the comments.
yeah. Like there is no comment. I am saying like someone is like game videos is asking like he don't know about the dagger or hilt. So can
Mhm.
you explain him like what are the basics of that?
Yes. So I just told you, like if I had to instantiate the view model here, view model is equal to view model providers dot whatever. Like
Can
I
you
had
just tell him like what is the dependency, or like when we call it is dependency of the other classes?
okay. So let's say this is my dependency for main activity to create. I want this. I want view model, main view model. So this is dependent on this. So this is the view model is a main view model is a dependency,
Mm-hmm.
and the main view model itself depends on these things. So these are its dependencies. So
Okay.
if we think about it, like main activity is also dependent on repository and analytics service and main competition.
Yeah,
So that is
I add one more thing to here. Like, if we need to create multiple view modules, so like we have to add like dependency to it multiple times,
come
right?
again, come again,
Like
come again.
if we need to create a like main like multiple instance of like main view model, then we have to
Hmm.
create every time its dependency every time.
No, so
Then
no, so it depends, right? Like here we have mentioned the scope also that we want it to be singleton.
no, but like basically like without dependency when we need that.
Yes, correct,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
that is a very downside of like it has a lot of downsides of doing this kind of like we have to instantiate it manually. It has many downsides. Plus, what you're doing here is I'm just mentioning that I want view model. I don't concern myself with all this. I'll just go to presentation mode again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I am saying that I don't want to know about all this. Like how are you bringing me the how are you bringing me the view model? I as an activity I don't care. Like my requirement is just bring me the view model. That's it. That is all I'm telling Dagger, and it is getting me. So I just have to put the right configuration. But let's say tomorrow you have a slightly junior developer who does not know about all this. So he does not need to worry about all this. Like everything is taken care of here, right? Any other
Okay.
questions?
Like I don't have like can we ask like anybody has any question, they can post on like chat.
So in that case, I'll turn off the screen share for now. We'll share it back if required.
Yeah, okay, sure, sure, sure. So like Niket Jain asking, like, we mentioned things about memory leaks. Can can we share more about that and how Hill can help us in that?
Okay, so for example, like any singleton pattern you take, you have let's say this is my singleton, right? So what I'll do is I'll just create a private constructor, and I'll just call get instance.
So basically, he is asking like how like Hill help us to like
Yes.
get rid of memory leaks. Yeah.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yes. So yeah. So this instance I'll just call my singleton instance. Okay. Okay, so what is happening here is that I'm creating just an instance, but I'm not taking care of the garbage collection. Like if I let's say create an instance, I'm not destroying it anywhere. And if even if I write a destroy instance, I have to explicitly know when to destroy it, right? So this is something Hill takes care of it for you. Like Dagger takes care of it for you. Like uh, it will know when to like if there are no further dependencies, it will just let it garbage collect, or yeah, so it will destroy it for you once the job is done or the scope is finished. So that is the benefit of Hilt. And tomorrow if I say like similarly, I'll come back to this again. Computation, yeah. So tomorrow I decide that this should be singleton. I can just change it here. I don't have to go through the whole thing where I now listen to activity. I now listen to application class and not view model class. I don't clear it in view model scope. I don't clear it in view model on clear. I have to clear it in application on destroy or something for this object to be destroyed, or yeah, to for this to be GC. So this is all these scopes are kind of singletons only, but they have a smaller scope. So we also have this public static dis- void destroy instance. Okay, so this singleton will be destroyed after the view model is destroyed in this case, and we don't have to write extra code, and we don't even have to write all this. So internally, it works something like this. Not exactly like this, but something like this.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. We got it. The answer. Like nigga, like this thing makes sense. Like for having the scopes kind of stuff. So like scopes makes things outlive to the any component in Android.
Right, right.
Anyone have any question? Arvind Rajat, James video. Yeah, like I think like we shall close like all thing is cleared. Like nobody has questions till now. Like thanks for joining us all. And like if you want to join the next session with us, we have a like follow link Yeah, we will share the like resource link in description. After that, no worry. And we
I'll
have
also
a
add some of my resources in the comments. So yeah, I'll mention one more thing. Uh,
yeah, sure.
or yeah, just go through the Medium article. I'll just share you the Medium article. I had written this where when I had to move from Dagger Java to Dagger Android. Like even at the time, it was a big thing for the time.
Okay.
So so this will give you more insight into how Dagger Java was and how Dagger Android came to be, and now why we are moving it to Hilt. You'll see all the intermediate stages. So please go through it, and if you follow anything today, like you'll understand whatever it is. Um, I think that's about it then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll also share the code wherever it is. Uh,
Like we can share the GitHub link on the description also after that.
right, but then they'll have to keep an eye out for that, right? So I'll just share it in the link, and
Yeah,
yeah, so I'll share it immediately.
sure, sure. Okay, like anybody has any question other than hmm okay, like I think like we are good now. Shall we close, Nirav?
Yeah, that sounds. Wait. I'll just share the repo link here, and then we can close.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Yes. So this is a link I've shared, and like yeah, this is where the repository is. Yeah, either you can add it to the add it to the issues, like whatever issues you face or whatever doubts you have. You can add it to the issue section, or you can add it to the Telegram channel, or even on the LinkedIn. So Nitin, can you share all the resources like the Telegram channel and the
Like, I think
LinkedIn?
I already shared in the description.
Okay, understood. Yeah, like yeah, you can reach out to us anytime. Great.
Yeah, like basically like we have given the all LinkedIn link of Ninad and me, and all like Instagram and like Telegram links. You can post your queries on over there. We will like happy to answer your queries on there. Yeah,
Okay,
like
awesome.
yeah, like that's it for today. And thanks to all like joining us. Like hope hope like you will learn something from here. And just like keep share your like feedback on the comment on Telegram channel anywhere else. And we will keep us motivated with the feedback also. Like have a
Okay.
nice day to you all. Like have a nice day, Nirad. Like
Yeah,
talk to
you
you.
too.
Bye bye all.
Ending all. Yeah. Bye.